Over the last 6 years, how many of y'all have been medicated and hospitalized because you lost your grip on reality? Also, how many of y'all have felt like you've been MK Ultra'd, or that somebody was playing with your mind, or you had intrusive thoughts? Did you lose all your friends and family? Did you have a near-death experience where you were tapped into a different realm when you came back, where you could hear voices that would protect you in times of danger? Now, everybody's awakening was different, but for the people who've made it to the other side, was it worth it? Would you do it again? There's another wave of people about to wake up in the next 3 months, and those people are going to be looking for guidance and people to help them make the process easier. But just know that you're not crazy, that everything you're going through, waking up every night, 2, 3, 4 a.m., body aches, heart palpitations, anxiety, all these things are the process and the script that you created to wake up, and it is a beautiful world.
Are you an Indigo child type 3? Write it in the comments. They have the most extremes and polarity issues of all of the Indigos, are highly intelligent, tend to be very gifted in math, languages, and technological sciences, tend to have strong athletic abilities, and can be drawn to competitive endeavors, especially those involving good versus evil and related polarity dramas, and may have difficulty with emotional bonding issues. They are also vulnerable to obsessive compulsive disorders, bipolar disorders, and extreme polarity in perspectives. Type 3 Indigos are unique in that the incarnation involves 2 race lines of soul consciousness in one body, which includes an Orifeme 24-strand avatar soul overseeing an ancient fallen angelic Nephilim Anunnaki 11-strand avatar soul that frequently they disagreed, often creating an aggressive, hyperactive child that spends most of its early life testing the extremes of the boundaries between right and wrong, constantly challenging authority. The polarity extremes in the personality of a Type 3 Indigo often lead to self-destructive behaviors and substance addiction, as the entity tries to numb itself from the near-constant feeling of internal conflict and apprehension. Most cases of autism occur in Type 3 Indigo children as a result of the Orifeme avatar unplugging some of the Nephilim DNA codes to retain control over the body. In these cases, the conscious personality usually feels stuck in the middle of an internal battle it cannot comprehend and experiences great fear, dread, apprehension, and depression, and the chemical imbalances that result from this soul disharmony. The softer side of the Type 3 Indigo child can be very innocent and childlike at any age, with a quizzical desire to learn and especially to experience emotion involving bonding and its physical expression. Like all Indigos, Type 3s often feel out of place, bored, or disinterested in earthly affairs. Hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe.
Go back to our Indigo types. You said Type 2 is the shamans, and is there a Type 3?
Yes, there is a Type 3. These are the ones that kind of act as a bridge between light and dark realms. They, transmute a lot of polarity and duality laws for themselves and also for the collective. They're more of spiritual warriors and justice fighters. They work in high levels of alchemy. And their job is to really restore and rehabilitate more of the degraded genetics and soul lines, such as like the Nephilim, the reptilian lines, the Anunnaki lines, may even go into like the Zetas and Greys. I heard from the Galactic Federation that they were trying to rehabilitate Greys now. So I'm like, oh, great, new news to me. But yeah, so it's really, they're here to reverse the anti-life architecture. They're here to reverse the reversal codes that run in people's bodies and the worship of death culturalism here on the earth. And so they have one of the strongest and most difficult missions. They're often usually under high levels of spiritual attack and infiltration. And a lot of Indigo 3s ultimately evolve into an Indigo Type 1. Indigo Type 2s typically stay sometimes within that framework of their consciousness and what they're meant here to do in terms of their mission, but 3s will often be propelled into a one mission, and it is because they hold rescue missions here. They're the ones that are able to go into more maybe degraded gate sites in the earth, navigate artificial and man-made stargates, and reverse that for the planetary body, so they can work on the behalf of the planet's spiritual body and So yeah, Indigo type threes, they are tough as cookies.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like they're the on the ground foot soldiers of
Yeah.
this whole thing.
Cannot even make this shit up. So I grab my fucking tablet and I go on YouTube and I follow so many people, and like even the alerts and stuff that I have silenced and shit, when things pop into my feed that I'm like, what's that? Even videos from 3 years ago and shit. This happens all the fucking time. I'm not stupid, and I will pay attention to where I'm drawn. And I was drawn to this video from end of 2020. And literally, this video was like pretty fucking good. This video was really like, okay, like, I'm going to focus. I kind of started doing it with the Mark Passio stuff. And I know Passio and Bose are buddies. But I never climbed the her and him ladder because I was missing certain pieces to be able to, like, fully comprehend everything, right? And it didn't resonate with me to start them at all at the time. But I'm literally going to have to incorporate her for sure into like a study program. I fucking hated school and I dropped out of college and am more into trade type stuff, you know, besides serving and bartending and not working right now because fuck all this shit. But literally, this video was very humbling in the fact of I do have a lot to learn. And then I watched a couple of her videos whenever she told me about my sun sign being, you know, Scorpio because of Shala. But I had never seen this video. And because I bopped onto this video, I ended up seeing this one, and I just didn't pay attention to it before. And when Britney Spears was going through this conservatorship, because this shit's 3 years old too, less than 1,000 views. I wasn't mentally charged up heavily at the time, but I never thought the Britney Spears shit was fucking funny. And I have always been very sensitive to, like, the mental health community. Very, very, like, who in the fuck thinks that shit is funny? And whenever I got my Shala placement and stuff like that, like, when I got my placements, it's a hell of a hand. And Shala is a heavy blow almost to anybody. And whenever I was in the mental hospital, almost all of the people there were Scorpios, Geminis, and there was a couple of Sagittariuses there. Britney Spears is a Sagittarius, and she goes through and she pulls the birth charts for Shala Starseed, Britney Spears, and then Anna Nicole Smith and Marilyn Monroe. Okay, quick little video edit in. I made the first part that you're watching right now, right? But I only got 25 minutes into this video, and that was when I had to stop and start recording. And it's going to be really funny here in a minute when you hear me talking about Sagittariuses and Geminis, because I didn't know that Anna Nicole Smith is a Sagittarius too, and Marilyn Monroe is a Gemini. I did not even know that before this shit. And because again, I had to stop because I couldn't stop crying, feeling so emotional over this Shala shit. And then I'm done with the video, and I started going again and watching it, and I literally made it that much farther into this video and started fucking crying again. And then I was like, oh, okay, like I heard her say something about, like, I'm still not through it all the way. Like, I haven't even seen them do these charts. Is how hard it is for me to look at information, and how I literally have to stop and go with it a lot. And I'm so glad that I'm honest about how shitty this is. And I'm gonna just cut this into the video, and I'm gonna keep watching and finish this fucking video. But literally, I have to stop and take fucking breaks because I'm so Shala signatured, literally so fucking emotional damage. And it is literally so fucked up when you start to realize what creates the makes and models game. The templating, the predispositions. And within the first about 20 minutes of this video, I fucking cried so hard realizing all of this shit with Scorpios, Geminis, and Sagittariuses for fucking sure. Britney Spears is a fucking Sagittarius. Ronnie Radke, Sagittarius. Corey Taylor, I just seen, had to cancel Slipknot's tour coming up because he's a Sagittarius with fucking mental issues, and he's struggling real bad. It's like, it would be an easier game of, hey, Scorpios, Sagittariuses, and Geminis, who doesn't struggle with mental problems, and how much of it is preventable. And this video and the other video, like how I had said that, I probably owe Boza an apology that I would give to him if I ever talked to him for flipping the fuck out like this. I literally would 100% owe her one as well if I ever spoke to her again. I've been freaking the fuck out because it's so fucking terrifying waking up and having to realize that you're a fucking Lyran starseed, Indigo 3'd, with a fucking Draconian, and pretty much everybody is an Anunnaki starseed, literally. Like, we, the people, everybody here's a fucking alien. Even Billy Carson says that. Government officials have said that. Humanity is an alien race. It is a hybridized the fuck up alien ass race. And this video, like, my buddy who looked at my Vedic charts for like 20 minutes, not long, was like, even in your Vedic charts, I mean, I guess it's like 15 fucking charts that go into Vedic astrology. It's so difficult. But within 20 minutes of looking, it was like, yeah, like, even with your moon placements and stuff, you're clearly here for karmic debt type shit, and like, you can see it in all of my fucking charts. It is a mental health struggle path, and I'm gonna play some of this because it literally fucking made me cry. I feel so bad for everybody who's had to go through an awakening and everybody who has yet to. And this is why I've been documenting my path, because I'm not going to be one of these people that she is talking about in this video, who is ranting and raving and intentionally spreading any kind of shit. Like, this fucking video was like, it is very humbling to watch. I don't want to not know. I don't want at all to not be advanced as fuck. Energetically cleared. This fucking video was really informative, talking about the J seals and shit, and how serious these fucking seal removals really are. When you get your J seals removed, you go unconscious for like 5 minutes. Like, these clearings are no fucking joke. And what has been done here is no fucking joke. And I am definitely going to really focus, because I'm not working right now. That was why I couldn't go harder, faster. It's because I couldn't boot camp myself through this kind of information and raise kids and have to work as a fucking waitress and a bartender and like it doesn't work. Like, I can't fucking do that. I literally cannot focus on this kind of shit any deeper than I have. And with, like, taking notes and shit like that. But it's not an excuse that I don't have any more excuses not to. It's just the truth, and it's just part of my path, because this fucking woman really knows a lot. And you know who else fucking knows a lot? This PhD holding pal of hers that, of course, it won't load right now. Oh, there she is. This woman has been on YouTube since 2013, I think. And is literally probably one of the most educated and unique women walking this entire fucking world, probably. And she has 93,000 views, I think. I think she has only 93,000 views. Where in the fuck? I don't know where the information is. And 4,000 subscribers. Are you fucking kidding me? That is absolutely fucking insanity to me. And my buddy who did my Vedic chart stuff just took a peek of it. This makes it make sense too. Like, I feel like one day this will all pan out and this won't suck so bad. But it's like templating, like people who think that astrology and life path shit is all bullshit. I took off as soon as I went through what I went through and started fucking loudly going through it hard, going, I'm not trying to be a bitch and I'm not trying to look like a dickhead, but my contract has a name on it, and I'm going through a weird 7-year walk-in situation, and I have interesting information myself, and I feel like I could be of use to these people who are shadow banned and so advanced and not totally overtaken agents, and they're not getting seen. Like, I fucking can't even tell me if this does not fucking sound like an accurate notch in my belt, pretty much.
Namaste, Galactic family. Welcome back to my channel, Indigo Angel. Welcome, everyone. If you're new, don't forget to hit the notifications bell. And if you're returning, it's so lovely that you're back. Thank you for being here today. And please hit the like button as you settle on into this really big topic that we have for you guys today. And I just want to say happy Blue Moon, everyone. Happy Hallows Eve, All Saints Eve. This is a time dedicated to remembering the dead and all the faithful departed. So when we are cleansing during a full moon ritual, we are actually clearing our soul family collective's departures. And this comes through the high tides. I did talk about this in a lot of detail in the last galactic energy update that I just put out on the lunar stargates. So if you didn't watch that, I highly recommend that you check that out, because they really go into explaining what's happening on a collective level on new moon and full moons. But basically, today is just a very blessed time. I woke up with so much positive energy and ready to shed some light on a very deeply heartfelt issue. So today I have a different kind of video. This is going to be somewhat of a 3D conversation, but we're going to be tying this into the starseed perspective of a specific collective radial signature or a celestial energy signature that does bring very big changes to the world, but this is not in a typical way that we usually see its influence as a starseed nation. So the star that we're going to really be, the influencing star we're going to be talking about today, isn't changing the world in terms of like higher humanity codes, and it's not all about love and light. This is more about a lunar stargate signature that is more responsible for greater collective healing and changes, usually through tragedy. So this is kind of more of a tragic star. This is through the star collective soul family signature of Shala. This is the stinger star in Scorpio. So this is usually through emotion, withholding of love, withholding of justice, withholding of understanding this star's need. It's through tragedy, it's through kind of toxicity and hidden abusive tendencies, and also mental and soul illnesses that usually appear in this star system. So we're really going to dive into this. I'm kind of being elusive right now, but we're going to get more into it, and more of this is going to unfold here as we kind of dive into this conversation. So basically, I've done a celebrity reading for Britney Spears, and I have done a lot of celebrity readings in the past, but I actually haven't done one in a while. But I felt really called to break this down today for Miss.
So to keep this shorter, because this is like 3 years old, they were talking about the details of Britney Spears losing her civil rights and literally being used by her fucking family, driven crazy, and it was really sad. I'm gonna skip it up to here-ish.
Legal representation, which they are utilizing Britney's financial money to pay for them, to work against Britney. So things are evolving, and I feel like things have evolved a little bit since that petition was created. So she does have her own legal representation at this moment, and things are just starting to come to the surface a lot more. However, a lot of it still hasn't been seen in court. She does, however, have a big court date coming up as well with that on November 10th, I believe it is. So
I find it interesting because when you watch the videos of the documentary, it seems like she's been shut down so many times of being able to actually speak for herself in court. That's always been like, they've always denied her that. And I've always wondered, well, is that really actually due to her really being that mentally incapacitated to be able to represent herself, or is there that much emotional manipulation and silencing on the aspects of things people aren't seeing that are preventing her from being able to use her voice? Because I mean, if she's able to perform in Vegas and she's able to do interviews with celebrities and things like this, like, I mean, wouldn't she be able to speak in court on her own behalf? I mean, what's kind of going on with that?
Oh, wow. that pretty much brings us back, I feel, to the beginning of the conservatorship when she was first diagnosed with dementia, which with early onset dementia, which if you research early onset dementia, the chances of her even surviving till the age she is now, which I believe she's 37 going on 38, it wouldn't, there's no possibility. It's very slim to none chances that she would actually survive that long with onset dementia, let alone do how many shows, how many residencies, release how many CDs, do how many interviews. And yes, there's those rumors that all her interviews, she can only interview if it's scripted, which, you know, for TV, a lot of stuff is scripted anyway. But she, they're not giving her the opportunity to speak for herself. They're saying she's basically incapable, and she is on this conservatorship, which is designed legally for those that literally cannot think or do anything. So basically coma patients. And Brittany is clearly not a coma patient. She definitely might have some mental issues, and it's definitely important to bring awareness to mental health. But given the extremities and what she has gone through and how hard she has been put to work, it just doesn't add up. There's just a lot that doesn't add up with why she's in this situation, why it's been for so long, when it was initially supposed to be a temporary conservatorship, when she was having her mental breakdowns back in 2007, 2008. It just doesn't make any sense. So it is bringing a lot of awareness, and people are starting to see that something is going on. And this isn't just a Britney Spears thing. This is a civil liberties thing. You know, they're literally, she has no constitutional rights at this moment. And that's what we're.
She doesn't have any constitutional rights. She doesn't have a right to have a baby. She doesn't have a right to get married. She doesn't have a right to drive a car. She doesn't have access to any of her money. Like I think in the video it said she only gets an allowance of $1,500. Is that a week or a month? They broke it down. They broke it down. It's like she's under such a. I mean, she basically just can't. She can't make any life choices for herself, and so that's what's really tragic about it. That's what's really sad about it. Is it just doesn't seem right. It just doesn't seem fair that it could get this out of control. Yeah, so that's just concerning for me. It makes me really sad for her. It makes me really just hope that, you know, there is some light, that there is some good that comes from this, that she can actually, you know, get out of this situation, and she can redeem her life, and, like, you know, be able to make choices and do things at her own will.
Yeah.
So I guess I want to talk about the mental illness aspect of it, because honestly, if my life was under the microscope throughout my entire life, I would probably look just as crazy as Britney Spears. Because, I mean, if you really go and look at my awakening, and everything that I went through, I mean, it was a very hard time in my life. I had a lot of really crazy things happening, even with my children, you know, because I was suicidal when my children were very young. And I was going through a lot. This was all at the beginning of my awakening. And so, like, if I had someone on me like that, I probably would have been under the same type of scrutiny. It's just that we haven't been, our awakenings haven't been publicized. So I kind of wanted to get into what she went through, like the shaving of the head and all of that's someone showing that they're going through an awakening. That's what an awakening looks like. So, I mean, because I feel when I go out, just in general, like, and if I have a conversation and somehow this comes up, that people are always very judgmental, like, oh, Britney Spears, she's just crazy. She's just, you know, they don't understand, like, this is what awakening looks like. This is not a pretty process. And it does drive one to do some pretty insane things, which seem insane, but it's, you know, it's not really insane if you look at it, if you look at under the stress that she was under, the scrutiny of the paparazzi, going from being not famous to becoming famous, and now having the whole world on you, your every single move. I mean, her having her infant in the car and driving with it. I mean, that's something that people would do out in the country. Like, they would put their kids on their lap, you know? So, I mean, like, she was scrutinized so harshly and so publicly that, I mean, I feel that that was all in the acceleration to her awakening. If you look on her Instagram, she does post a lot of like highly conscious memes. Like, she's put just a lot of art that represents ascension. She wears a Hamza in some of her.
There's that video too, if anybody would like to check it out. But that's what I say. I have no problem admitting I'm wrong. I have no problem admitting where I've been wrong in my learning. And if I can learn how to navigate and balance and do shit like alchemize rage and get a fucking grip already and put my fucking big girl pants on and put in the work to properly study now that I'm in a better place mentally and capability wise of processing this all without having to worry about customers or managers fucking yelling at me and shit. If I can figure this out and deal with the hand that I have been dealt unknowingly, anybody else is capable for $0 of fucking navigating this. For $0, you can find the right paths to start looking down. If you can't afford initiations in these things, and if you can't afford or know about or believe these seals are real and you can't afford removals and shit like that, you can afford the free information that all of these people have, starting with people like Paul Wallace. If you are totally sleeping in the Matrix and do not understand that we are in a fucking simulated reality yet, you gotta start somewhere. And again, I have a heavy fucking hand dealt to me. I honestly don't know who out there doesn't, though. And I have confidence in everybody. And I might be a fucking bitch sometimes. But again, I'm documenting the steps that I'm taking to field the reality of this reality. Calm the fuck down and be able to grow the fuck up like billions upon billions of other people are also going to have to do. And if you're a mental health patient, you are probably so fucking ready to go through an awakening and have suffered so fucking bad already. You probably could handle this information the easiest. If you are not a mental health patient, you fucking might become one if you don't take what's real in this world seriously. And I'm going to take deep diving information very seriously, because again, that other video I had pulled up, I don't want to be one of those people that she's talking about in that video. I've processed a lot in the year and a half that I have been awake with no previous knowledge of any fucking thing before. And have been mishandling my anger and all of these things. And have been very fucking disrespectful. And, like I said, I have no problem saying sorry to anybody that I feel that I would ever owe an apology to. And it's, right now, of the people I've bitched about in any kind of a way, it's only these two. Her and Boza at this point that I would apologize to. But yeah, that's all for now. Like, when you're being guided and you feel like you are being guided in a positive way, follow your gut. Because literally, like, this video and that last video have me cracked. Like, literally cracked me open in a very strange way of, I just kind of really want to grow and be this knowledgeable, hopefully one day. These fucking people are so intelligent and are so advanced. Look at her. She's a
Worked with Sophia, with wisdom.
She's a fucking PhD and has 4,000 followers. The few women out here who are worth anybody's time, I can't believe their follower numbers after all of this time. That's how you fucking know that there's something wrong here. Like, get out of here. This is getting long. Toodles.